and 3, that we need to have more technical capacities within the disaster management authorities at the national level and at the state level to interpret the data and apply them in practical situations, or to develop products which are actionable. On the institutional side, I would say there is a huge progress. Within the NRSC, the capacity, the scientific capacity has expanded considerably, and we have an excellent interaction with the NRSC, and the number of scientists working together on different hazards. We have so many hazard atlases coming through. We have, almost all parts of the country, we have the flood hazard atlas available, and this is again so reassuring. At the state level, we have remote sensing application center, and they are providing support to the state disaster management authority and state governments, which is also very remarkable. But as the applications increase, as the demands increase, we need to have more hand holding, we need to have more technical assistance, and I feel that both within the NRSC as well as the remote sensing application center, there should be much greater interaction, much more scientific assistance to the disaster management personnel for interpreting the satellite images and improving their applications. This is an area that needs more attention. As was being mentioned in the previous presentation, the ecosystem for the space applications is changing. We are seeing more and more private players coming in, and I think it's important to recognize that we need to draw upon a larger satellite network for improving our services, and perhaps the ISRO should help the NDMA and the SDMAs to draw upon the network so that we have a continuous availability of the satellite images. And also, once we start using it on a more intensive basis, I think we will also develop a more embedded culture of using the satellite applications for early warning systems and many other disaster management applications. So I think these are some of the future directions. We have made a lot of progress, but we still need to keep improving in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vassar. Now may I move on to Dr. Pramod Kumar Mahadda, please, for the opening remarks.
Yeah, certainly. So, the intersection of space technology in last couple of decades with the issues that we deal in governance and development has actually thrown a lot of exciting fields and areas where we can take advantage of space technology and improve our governance and development. I'll focus on agriculture sector, where considering the need for space technology in agriculture data statistics, collection of data statistics, I believe those who are acquainted with the agriculture sector know that one of the very important data is on crop production. So this crop production data generally is collected from the field functionaries based on eye estimates, but that was something that was not very close to the reality, and therefore the Ministry of Agriculture set up a center dedicated for using space technology in helping the agriculture sector get the data more accurately on crop production, which is the center is Mahalanobis National Crop Forecast Center. It was set up in 2012, and since then we have been collaborating with NRSC, SAC, all the agencies of ISRO in improving these systems within the institution. And in fact, we get the director is generally from ISRO. So we have a very close coordination with ISRO on using space technology in agriculture sector. Now, crop production depends on crop area. So the space data that we get helps us in improving crop, in seeing the crop area, the crop acreage. And now we are developing products with the help of ISRO on how we can have use space technology for crop yields also, so that crop area into yield would give us better picture of crop production estimates. In fact, there's another field which uses in agriculture sector these yield estimates beyond the crop production estimates that are required by government for policy formulation and decision making. There's another field which is very important field, which is the crop insurance, and we use this data for in yield estimations for arriving at crop loss, so that the claims can be settled very quickly. So there's a program which we have started in agriculture which is called YesTAC, which is yield estimation through technology, and this has been done in close collaboration with with ISRO and using space technology. In fact, we have a whole institutional mechanism where the ISRO agencies are in fact those who finally vet the data that comes from different agencies and then help the agriculture sector in arriving at crop losses. There are many other things where we are using this data, for instance, our land resource management, in fact, for crop planning also, so which area is suitable for which crop, and where is the arid area, where is the wetland area, which crops can be grown, where crop diversification, all this data is coming from space technology and we are using very heavily. There are many other things that we do for evidence-based decision making and policy formulation. And for instance, besides the crop planning, we are also using this for precision agriculture. Very recently, we have initiated a very ambitious project called Krishi Decision Support System, which we call Krishi DSS, which was just a few days back launched by our Honorable Minister of State. There are 13 modules in it, but just to tell the audience about this very ambitious project is that this is something which is based on Gati Shakti pattern, where we collate all the data, in fact spatial data along with non-spatial data, and then we have standardized products which are then open for private sector, for government agencies, for everyone to use this data. In fact, Honorable Member NDMA spoke about in the end about collaborative approaches. So here is in the Krishi DSS we have a collaborative approach where farmers don't only get insights from our data products, but they also feed into, their data is fed into the system where researchers, academicians, industry, startups can use it for farmer-centric solutions in agriculture. And not to mention about the transparency that it helps in, because it is helping us in getting that data which is reliable and is acceptable by everyone. It helps us in improving transparency also. One thing that was mentioned by the member NDMA was that there is a lot of need for collaboration, especially on that account. I would like to mention about agriculture sector's need, where we need a lot of data because the population is now increasing and land is getting fragmented. So there, the more granular data and where the satellite visits, revisits are more frequent and the data is more granular is something that is the need of the hour. And I would just, in the closing remarks, would say, just mention about one issue. I don't want to elaborate more on it because member NDMA has already mentioned about it, is the disaster response. So I was, one anecdote where I was actually sitting in NRSC Hyderabad, and on October 5, 2023, I still remember the glacier broke down and there was a landslide in Sikkim, and immediately NRSC could give where it was located with the help of the satellite images, and disaster response could actually take place after that based on such data. In fact, we are using this data heavily for our disaster preparedness, which is in agriculture sector is mostly about the drought management. So with the help of ISRO, we have in fact developed a drought management portal through using Vedas data, and many more such tools we are now trying to develop through Krishi DSS, where flood management will also be important for crop assessments, etc. So that is all I wanted to say in my initial remarks. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Now over to Mr. Anjan Kumar Mohanty, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Subramaniam. As far as forest and wildlife management is concerned, because I am from Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, I'll talk a little bit of forest and wildlife management. The mandate is about objective assessment of huge resources we are having, and their monitoring, and of course their conservation for the posterity. And as I told, it is a huge resource. If you see the country scale, so the forest cover is about, forest and tree cover is about 80 million hectares in a country of about 328 million hectares. And also we have got forest land of about more than 77 million hectares. To have this in a very comprehensive way, and different aspects of management and different aspects of components, a very difficult task if we go by ground verification and take assessment physically. So this space technology has really has become quite handy, and we have a few, for the sake of time, I will talk about a few components in the whole gamut of forest management, like forest cover mapping. One of the things most of us know how the forest cover mapping is done with the help of satellite imagery data. And with that, we go to the next level, that is we go for densities, different density classes and forest types, and how over the period of time these are also changing. They also give us quite insight into that. We also take up land use changes vis-a-vis urban development and agricultural development, whether there is any impact on these kind of developments on the forestry resources and forest land. That also we get to know by analyzing the data. Then I will come to wildlife management. That is quite interesting, and it is more technical. The wildlife movement, migration patterns, animal behavior, these are also being tracked nowadays by satellite collaring. So as we know, in the oceanic areas also we have got this olive ridley turtle. They come to the coastal areas for laying eggs and they go back, and by tracking them we get a lot about their behavior and their conservation values, conservation importance. So these are also noted, and they are used to understand the whole ecosystem we are living in. One of the key areas which Mr. Krishna Bhatt mentioned just now, because we are also in collaboration with National Disaster Management Authority, it is regarding forest fire monitoring. That is one of the areas in the whole forest and wildlife management. We have actually done a lot of progress by monitoring how generating hotspots and transmitting to the end users, they are the subscribers, particularly